Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Seth. In today's video we're going to be reviewing / rating the movie Obsession. Now this movie is directed by Curry Parker and the cast stars Mike Johnson as Bear, Indy Navarrete as Nikki, Chris Tomlinson as Ian, and Megan Lawless as Sarah. And it's a suspenseful thriller that makes you really feel uncomfortable and has some horror elements in this movie. And the synopsis of this movie is Bear is a shy guy that really just keeps to himself, and he has this friend named Nikki who he really has a crush on, and he hopes to feel the same way that Nikki has a crush on Bear. So he makes a wish for Nikki to love him, and throughout this movie you get to see the actions of his request come alive. Now this movie has a lot of buzz and hype around it. Some people saying it's the best horror movie of the year, some people even saying it's the scariest movie of the year. But what really got me excited for this movie was the director, Curry Parker. Now Curry is a YouTuber that makes sketch comedies and some other videos too, and I've seen some of his videos. They're really good and I like them. But he also made a short film called Milk and Cereal that I've heard a lot of people say good things about. I've never seen personally and I want to see. But yeah, a lot of people said that movie's good. YouTubers turn into film directors, which is something I love to see, you know. We got the Rocker Brothers who made Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, which Bring Her Back was my favorite horror movie of last year. We also have Mark Fishback, aka Markiplier, who basically did everything, fully financed and self-made. The Iron Lung movie, which was a good movie and made a really good amount of money for him. We also have Kane Pixels, aka Kane Parsons, who is making the Backrooms movie that's coming out later this month, which I'm super excited to see. But it's really lovely to see that a lot of these YouTubers have such a vision and such a creative mind for what they want to make, and they're getting the opportunity now to make movies that are actually getting into the theaters. So it really is something to show that in proof of that if you really love what you're doing, it doesn't matter where you're at, you can do it. Also too, it's so great to see some of these YouTubers too that have such a love and creativeness for what they're making, like aka Kane Pixels, who is making backroom videos on YouTube, is now getting to make a movie about it. Or Markiplier, you know, who really loved Iron Lung video game, now made a movie about it, and it did really well. So it's always just lovely to see that, and I will always be super happy to see a YouTuber, you know, make a movie, or have such a creative vision. And you can really see that throughout this movie, that Curry had a vision for what he wanted to do in this movie. Like the cinematography and the lighting, I think, are a good example of that. With that, he really uses the shadows to advantage in this movie to make you feel kind of eerie and uncomfortable. Like Nikki would be around, they would cut to Nikki and her silhouette of her body would just be black. And I don't care what anybody says, if you saw that in real life, you would be scared. And there's some moments too, really, even where it's really dark and you can only really see the silhouette of her face, like her mouth or her eyes, and they really use that to advantage to make you just feel eerie and uncomfortable. And that's really what this movie tries to make you feel, is just uncomfortable. Whether it would be like the secondhand embarrassment of, you know, of course, having to ask your crush out and hoping she says yes, or having the person you're with who is really clingy and desperate to your attention do something very awkward, you know, in front of a public setting, or whether it just be making you feel uncomfortable in the scary moments. And two, also, this movie really shows you that what you want sometimes really isn't what's best for you in this movie. But I will say the star of the show is Indy Navarrete as Nikki. She is the star of the movie. I mean, man, did she put all she had onto this, and she did such a great job. I mean, she showed a lot of wide range of emotions in this movie, whether it be happy and smiley, to crying and sad, to like full on angry where she's yelling at you, and sometimes she would show all those emotions in just a minute. I mean, hats off to her. She's one of those people now that I think will have such a bright future, and this will be the movie that really shoots her up to success, because anytime now that she is going to be in the movie, I'm going to be like, okay, I gotta see it now, because she did such a good job in this movie. Hats off to her. I mean, congrats to you and all the success you'll get in the future. Also too, I will say this movie is a little bit slower paced, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because a lot of those slower and uncomfortable moments really build up to the climax to where it's like, oh my gosh, because there was one moment where I was not expecting a jump scare, and I legit jumped out of my seat and said, not so nice word, it's a cuss word I said, but I won't say it, but it really got me because I wasn't expecting it. So yeah. Also too, this was just such a good movie to see. The movie was so unique and had a vision of what it wanted to see. I really did enjoy this movie. I would say for my rating, it is a 4 out of 5. You know, I really did enjoy this movie. A great vision, you know, really used it to advantage, and I just can't wait to see what Indy Navarrete and a lot of the other actors, even what Curry Pari is going to do in the future. Now it is said that he is going to be the director/writer for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie coming up later on in a couple years. So I'm super excited to see that, because I really like this movie, and I can't wait to see what he does later on, because now he really has me hooked and just wanting to see what everybody else does in their up and coming projects, because a lot of them did such a good job. Yeah, that's my movie, that's my review and rating on it. Thank you for watching as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye!